Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, all of you EAP students. Good afternoon to Alalam, Cheng Hao, Asfar, Yuan Ming, Manheng, Dinesh, Vivinath, Tina, Jamil. Good afternoon, Harish, Sutij, Suvan, Samuel. Afternoon, Honkit. Excuse me. Okay, and good afternoon to the rest of you as well. Okay, Harish, no problem. Thank you for giving me a heads up. All right, guys. I hope your afternoon is going on okay. All right, may not be perfect, but I hope it's okay. Before we go into a topic for the day, I think I better discuss with you your group assignment submission and stuff. Okay. Let me just share my screen. Guys, are you all there? Yes, no? All right. Okay. Yes. Good.
Yes, miss. Yes.
Good. 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 Wonderful. All right, so I waited for 5 minutes. I had to make sure most of you are already in class because I wanted to discuss your assessments with you. Yeah, and I didn't want anyone to say, oh, miss, I was late and this and that. Yeah, so hopefully now that almost all of you are in class, thank you for attending class. We can now speak about the assessment. Okay, all right. So as you already know, now it's week 10. Including this week, we've got 3 weeks left. Okay, and content-wise, we are slowing down a little bit. It's becoming lesser than what you had at the beginning and in the middle of the semester. Okay, because we are now going more towards your assessments. Okay, so we are going to mainly speak about your submission. Okay, of the group assignment. Okay, we start with your graphic organizer, which is your group discussion. If you've already seen Moodle, right, you can actually see it under your summative assessment. Okay, you've got a few options here. So for your graphic organizer, you will click on this option here, the group discussion graphic organizer submission. And then you've got your critical response, your PowerPoint slides, right? So you will choose this option, group presentation, slide submission, okay? So based on the due date that is set there on Moodle, your due date is Friday, 2nd of July. All right, that is what I was asked to do because this was already set up, yeah? Any groups having any issues, you have to let me know a few days earlier, like today itself, okay? Because even if an extension is given, it will be only until Saturday or Sunday. That means 3rd or 4th of July. That will be the maximum extension you'll get, yeah? So if there is a necessity for that, let me know. But I think there wouldn't be because when I met all groups last week, you were already in the process of completing, and I saw some of you have already submitted the assignment. All right, so good, yeah. Okay, so I hope everyone can try your best. Please achieve this due date, okay, because your assignment was given way God knows when, right? Okay, your group representative will submit on behalf of the entire group. Yeah, not everyone submits, please, because then you know there's this thing called Turnitin, right? A similarity. Turnitin is this platform Okay, it is not to see if you plagiarize or not. It's always a misunderstanding. It is to find out what areas of writing you as students can improve on. Okay, so if you do see any kind of highlights here and there, that means there's a similarity to some sources outside. Okay, and if you feel that you can improve on your writing a little bit based on what Turnitin has shown, go ahead and do that, right? But if you did copy from someone else, also we will be able to know, because Turnitin highlights similarities. Okay, so when there are a lot of direct similarities to other students or to a particular website, okay, that means you did not use the conventions of paraphrasing and summarizing, then of course you will raise suspicion in your lecturers, right? You want to know, like, why is the similarity that high? Okay, so one group member only submits, and then whatever feedback and all that you get later on, right, after the semester ends, the group representative, please be responsible to convey the feedback, if any, if any, to the rest of your group. Okay, I know a few of you have already uploaded your work, but it will be much appreciated if you can do this naming convention. Okay, that means follow this format. I forgot EAP. Follow this format to name your file. All right, follow this format to name your file. So for example, if you are T1, there's no T1, don't worry. Okay, so T1 group 1 EAP graphic organizer, T1 group 1 EAP critical response. All right, you can put critical response slides even if you want. Yeah, okay, let's just set it to this. Okay, so that it's easy to track your files, right, to know what your files are about, and also to arrange them will be easier, okay, when grading. All right, and it's also for your group to refer to easily. Okay, so this is what is supposed to be submitted. Okay, any questions about the group assignment? For the group, like last week I showed you an example of a group discussion, which you know you can do much better. All right, definitely. There is an example that I was given for the presentation as well, but let's see if we have time after class. Otherwise, we shall look at it next week. But my gut feeling says that your presentation will be better than whatever that is seen there, because that's a hybrid class. And also, I feel based on your analysis of the group discussion that you saw last week, you grasp things better. Okay, I'm hoping so. All right, so let's see if there's time later. If not, next week I'll just spend a few minutes showing you for the sake of showing you an example. Yeah, because I was given the example and asked to show. Otherwise, I don't normally show examples. You use your own knowledge, your own creativity. All right, like I said last week, sometimes when you see examples too much, you forget that you have the ability, okay, to do something maybe better. All right, so examples are good, but not when they kind of make you forget. Yeah. Okay, yes, Aiden, you'll be presenting during your tutorial. Okay, so I was given this slot thingy. All right, you have already drawn lots apparently, right, for your group discussion and group presentation. Okay, so we will then just go according to this. I will post this in your teams as well. I don't know if you noticed that there is this this option here, assessment related. So whatever that is about your assessments, right, like announcements or reminders or whatever, I'll put it here in the assessment related. Yeah, so check your notifications every now and then, okay, if there is anything that you need to refer to. All right, okay. So Asfar has nothing to ask about the group assignment. The rest of you, if you need any consultation, you need any advice, you let me know. All right. Harish, like today with T7, I couldn't because I had to discuss their opinion-based essay first, and then we had to do the content of the day. For the other classes, if we are only doing the content of the day, because we already finished opinion-based, we might be able to have about 45 minutes to spare to just practice a little bit, like join groups. Okay, that one I'm not forcing. Yeah, I'm not forcing. If there's any group that's ready and willing, I will be more than happy to just join you for that 5-10 minutes. Yeah. So we're talking about group assignment first. Yeah, group assignment first. Let's sort this out first. Whatever doubts or what, let's clear it first.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yeah.
Ma'am, have you posted when we have to present presentation? The thing that you showed us right now, groups when they will be presenting. So yeah,
No,
ma'am.
no. This one has not been posted yet, but I was informed that you already know your dates and your turns.
No, ma'am, we don't know about
Oh,
that.
you don't know. So then how did these numbers come about? It's okay, never mind. I'll post it for you. But as you already know, as was informed to you last week itself, week 10 is this week, you submit your work. Week 11 is group discussion. Week 12 is group presentation, and then goodbye. Right? So you've only got these 2 weeks left. Okay? This week submit your work. Next week group discussion. Following week group presentation. All right, it's okay. I will upload this for you guys. All right, you don't worry.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Jamil, your question later, yeah. All right. Tina, references in your slides. Yes, if you did do any make any references to anything, yeah, you need to follow the correct citations and then have a slide for references. Then only you are called the responsible student, right? Because you acknowledged the work of other authors. Okay, so yes, please. Okay, if you have things that you referred to. Okay, APA or Harvard. So this was the question that a few of you asked last week. So if you guys started with Harvard at the beginning of the semester, you will continue with Harvard only. All right, you will continue with Harvard only. Based on my understanding of the email announcement that was sent to everybody, APA is for those who are recently joining. Okay, that means you haven't learned Harvard yet. So for you guys, if you started with Harvard, you continue with Harvard. All right. Sutej, no, Sutej, you don't have to hand in your script. Your script, if you just want me to have like a go through of it, I can do that very quickly. But mainly, it is not for me to check or anything like that. Yeah, it's for you guys to refer to. Okay, for your practice, basically for your own rehearsal. We don't want you reading, yeah, guys. Please, everybody, listen carefully. We don't want any reading going on. All right, during the discussion. Okay, referring to it once in a while is fine, but make sure referring does not become reading. You saw how remember the example that you saw last week? You noticed that a couple of them, maybe they memorize things, memorizing until it becomes very robotic. Yeah. Reading, you will somehow know their eyes, their facial expressions will become different, right? Because when people are reading, sometimes it's easy to know. It's your content. You have been working on this content for a few weeks now already. Okay, so be natural. Okay, be comfortable with the content that you are discussing. You will be okay. All right, don't be too afraid, please.
Sorry to disturb you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, we have to present graphic organizer also and PowerPoint slides also, right?
You are not presenting the graphic organizer. Okay, the graphic organizer is just going to be submitted. All right. Your PowerPoint slides you will present here. Okay, so
But in PowerPoint site we only have to mention solutions. We only
Correct.
mention solutions.
Yes, your PowerPoint slides, the critical response, you're only mentioning the solutions. That is right. Yeah, that's why you are your first presentation, I mean your first submission, as you can see here, where you group discussion, the graphic organizer you will upload and submit. The slides you will submit as well. Okay, and
Ma'am,
then when
we have a group discussion on graphic organizer. Okay, ma'am.
yes, you do have a group discussion that is based on the graphic organizer. Yeah, but you don't have to show the graphic organizer.
Okay.
Okay, so that is just for you to organize your group discussion. If any group wants to show their screen, their graphic organizer, I don't mind. If it allows you to see your points clearly without reading a script, I don't mind. I'm honestly quite flexible. The point is that your ideas have to flow, your ideas have to make sense, okay, and be based on what you guys have discussed in the graphic organizer.
Ma'am, we have to present a graphic. We have a group discussion on graphic organizer and slides presentation on the same day or different day. Presentation of both things.
Different day. Can you see this? Yeah, week 11
Okay,
is your
ma'am.
group discussion. Week 12 is the presentation. Yeah, and then here also, if you see the dates, like for example, T7, 5th July is the discussion. Presentation is 12th July. Yeah, the week after. So the remaining tutorials for week 11 and 12
So,
will
ma'am,
fully be.
we
Yeah.
have T4, right?
If you are T4, yours will be 7th July and 14th July. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
All right, discussion and then the presentation.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Okay. Uh, wait, let me see whose question some more. Okay, Yizhuan, reference. Do we need to include in the slides or in the graphic organizer? Yes, Uzma, thank you for answering that. Preferably both. Yeah. Make sure in the slides you have it as well. All right. So guys, I will share with you guys this document. All right. Don't worry. Whether you are first or you are last, your group discussion is taking place next week. If I'm still alive, your assessments will go on. Okay. If I'm not alive, someone else will make sure your assessments go on. Okay. So by hook or by crook, you are presenting your discussion next week and slides in the following week. Yeah, I hope that one is clear, okay? Any more questions, guys? Michelle, for your questions about Harvard, that one, as far as I know, yes, for all modules, but I don't know what different departments are working on, as far as I understand, and the information that has been conveyed. We will use Harvard for those who have been using Harvard from day one. Yeah. Tina, the date for T5. What is the date for your next tutorial next week? Yeah, that will be the date. Okay, so you got 6th July and 13th July. All right, so you guys check your timetables because there might be changes. All right, because I don't know that the timetable draft shows that next week lecture might be a different day and T7 tutorial might be a different day. Okay, so it's mostly affecting your lecture and T7's tutorial only. So you guys check your timetable. Okay, one thing I can say, guys, final, what is really happening is you will be doing your group discussion next week during tutorial. Okay, everyone, group discussion next week during tutorial. If you're T4, T5, T6, T7, next week during tutorial. I will share this with you later, guys. Don't worry, I have no purpose of keeping this to myself, yeah? All right, and then in week 12, which is 2 weeks from now, during tutorial, you will do your presentation for the critical response. You will be using your PowerPoint slides. Okay? Everybody? Anyone who's not okay, you tell me now. You ask me 10 times, I'll tell you 10 times. The 11th time, then maybe something is wrong with me, yeah? That I could not help you in the first 10 times. Okay, thank you, Dinesh. Thank you, Harish. Thank you, Michelle. Okay, so that was the assignment. All right. Your alternative assessment. Okay. Because you don't have final exams due to our online learning and the pandemic and all that kind of stuff. All right. So an option now is we conduct AA, alternative assessment, which is done individually. All right, it is done individually. Okay, so you will have summary. Okay, that's why you can see here alternative assessment summary and then alternative assessment essay. I think I'll have to rearrange this because it becomes very confusing, right? Like suddenly there's alternative, group, alternative. I'll arrange it for you so that it's easier to see. Okay. So there will be two things you will have to do. One is your summary, one is your essay. Okay. The question will be handed out next week. All right. What do you call that? During your lecture, most probably. Okay. And your submission will be done in week 12. So you'll have one full week to do one essay and one summary. All right, which is like long enough. Okay, so that one you don't worry about now. You focus on completing your assignment, and then next week you will be given your question for the summary and the essay. Okay, so
it will be a argumentative essay or opinion based essay?
Argumentative, as far as I know.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so argumentative essay and your summary, both of these in total are worth 50%. Yeah, so your alternative assessment is 50%. Your group assignment is 50%. Okay, so all in all, 100%. Okay. Guys, issues with group members not contributing, that is a serious thing, yeah, guys. It's very irritating, yeah, when there are people in the group who delay the group members. All right, for example, you want to show me your work. Your group has decided, okay, you want to show me your work today, but then you're waiting for this 1-2 people. You've been waiting and waiting for them to complete their work. They have no fear, they have no respect for themselves, they have no consideration for their parents who have probably spent lots of money to try and send them to university. Yeah, so please, yeah, guys, don't delay other people for your own benefit and for the benefit of your group. Okay, you have to understand that yes, you are a group, but you are one unit. Okay, you have to work together, you have to function together for the benefit of the group. All right, so if there's anyone who's not been doing their tasks, okay, this is just your first semester, your second semester, third semester. If you are expected to look for groups yourself, please don't blame people, yeah, or accusing people of things like, oh, miss, they don't want to take me in the group and this and that. Think why probably you are having a difficult time looking for a group. All right, because now you are in semester 1, you are getting to know each other. It's a very initial stage. Okay, show that you can do work, be participative. You don't have to be an A+ student. You're not expected to be an A+ student. Do what you are capable of doing based on your hard work. All right, But when you are doing group work, working in pairs, as a team, for example, please guys, work together. Okay, don't bring your group down. Yes, you will be assessed individually for most of the parts, but the thing is that there's one submission. Okay, so I hope you realize for the benefit of yourselves that you are working with other people, all right? And then people are politely waiting for you and not complaining to the lecturer or reporting anything because they pity you, and then you still like whatever, or you know, you have internet but you say you don't have internet because you're using some social media platform, you're updating your status and this and that, but you are saying you don't have an internet, you don't have internet network at that time just to join in a meeting. I think that's not very fair, yeah guys. Okay, so that's all I'm hoping from you. Okay, it's not angry or whatever. I just know that there are some group members who are getting very frustrated with their own group members. Okay, and I've already had students breaking down, right? They are saying, imagine it's just first semester and they're saying they cannot handle it because their group is not cooperating with them. Okay, so whoever you are, please, you have this next couple of days to work with your group, yeah guys. I mean it seriously. Work with your group responsibly, please. Okay, you don't want to become the cause of someone else's stress or mental health. Okay guys, if you have issues, you let me know. All right, that's all. Okay, so all the best to you guys for your group assignment. Jamil, your question, as was explained just now. All right, your individual, the alternative assessment. Yeah, it's not an assignment, it's alternative assessment that is done individually. You will be handed out the topic next week, which is week 11, and then you will submit it in week 12. Okay, for everyone's sake, I will release an announcement as well on Teams. Okay, right? Anything else? Okay, you are wonderful students. I think there's nothing for me to be concerned about. I just want to make sure that you guys are all on the right track, doing the right thing. Okay. All right. Keep your assignments away if you have them open. Yeah. We don't want to talk about assignment already for now. Okay. Let's take a few seconds to breathe. Okay. All right, guys. So we have another topic that we will be going through. All right. Today. Okay. It is about you. All right. Understanding what a writer writes, okay, and how you respond to it. Have you had situations, guys, when you are reading a text, whether short or long, okay, doesn't matter, and after like say 2-3 minutes of reading it, you just don't know where this is going, like what the writer was trying to tell you? Have you had situations like that? Whether it's a storybook or newspaper or whatever.
You can repeat.
My question was, have you had situations whereby you read something, an article, okay, and as you are reading it, you don't know where it's going or what the writer wanted to tell you, what his purpose was? Have you had any kind of experiences like that? Okay, so you have had experiences sometimes. Okay, Uzma also, but it happened. Or storybooks. Okay, for Asfar. All right. So yeah, in that situation, it's quite normal, right? Or but if it's articles, it's straightforward. Sometimes it all depends on like on our interest, okay, or the language used in the article. All right, was it something very simple and straightforward, or is it something totally new that at the end you're like, okay, what is this? What else do I need to understand? Okay, so when you have situations like this where you are stuck, you don't know how to respond to it. If someone is asking you, okay, what did you read in article A? And then you don't know how to summarize it, you don't know how to respond to it because you don't know how to um, understand. Okay, you don't know what the purpose was that the author wanted to convey to you. Okay, so it's important that we try and get the author's perspective. All right, the angle of which the author is trying to convey something. Okay, and then we can respond to it, whether by writing a summary or whether by creating a title for something, all right, or writing a feedback, okay, or a reply email, for example, things like that. Okay, so here we want to see the different purposes of text. Yeah, hopefully by the end of all this you will know the different purposes of the text that you have around you, whether the ones that you read or you write. Okay, and also know how the perspective of the authors can affect a particular text. Okay, all right, so let's see what is the purpose. Okay, so this is a question that I don't think needs to be asked. Okay, but sometimes some people read things very blindly, maybe because they have to, or maybe because they want to show they are trying to read something. But there has to be a realization that everything you read, right, everything you read has got a purpose. All right, the author, when he writes something, okay, be it a magazine article or something in the newspaper or your school textbooks, for example, whatever words, whatever phrases, okay, the language used that he picks, all that is based on a purpose. Okay, so if you are writing your assignment, okay, can be an essay, a report, whatever, all right, you're writing your assignment, your purpose will probably be to fulfill some learning outcomes. So your writing has to be very academic. It has to fulfill the requirements of the assignment. So your purpose will all be based on the requirements of the assignment. All right, so this is all extra learning for you. Yeah, if you want to do your own revision and all that, yeah, once these slides have been put on Moodle, this is for your extra learning. Okay, this is just extra. Okay, so what is the purpose? Okay, the purpose. So you know that, okay, the main reason is that they're writing selection here means the text that they have written. Yeah, the text that has been chosen. Okay, so the purposes often are in these three categories. Okay, one is to entertain. Guys, what kinds of texts that you read can entertain you guys as readers? Yeah, what kinds of texts entertain you? Okay, Michelle says novels. Novels are examples of texts that entertain him. The rest of you guys? Or Saad says funny stories. Uzma, novels as well. All right, good. Oh, we got a few novel readers here. Whoa, Tina, documentaries entertain you. Okay, some of you sport. Kaifeng said sport. As far as it novels, comics, yeah, comic. It is examples of text but simplified. Reddit threads, yeah. Poems, of course. Which one? Story with good plots. Then you find it entertaining, yeah, Samuel. Financial books are entertaining. Oh, Aaron, this is the first one. Okay. So you have got different things that entertain you. Okay, but Tina, another murder case study. You people. All right, but then from the author's point of view, okay, if you find a fact entertaining, all right, maybe that was not the author's point of view, right? The author wanted to inform you about something, but you found it entertaining. Yeah, so but that is fine. Okay, so here is to understand what the author's purpose is. Okay, so probably if you are saying that you read what do you call that, a storybook, okay, a novel, for example, okay, a few comic strips, for example, all these are entertaining. Okay, the purpose of the author is to entertain the reader. Okay, and then you've got inform, right? Inform will be something more formal. If you say you're reading like say an accounts, what do you call that, um, textbook, okay, history even, right? Probably is to inform, but maybe you find some parts entertaining, yeah, but the author's purpose will be to inform you this is what happened at that time, and then how did it change the world at this time. Okay, and then you got this last one here. Where can you find text with the author having the aim to persuade you, all right, persuade you to do something? What kinds of text do you see there where they want to persuade you? Political books. So how do political books persuade us, Michelle, in your opinion? The rest of you, can be any kind of text, yeah? Or where can you see text that can persuade you? Okay, Uzma, ads, right? When good, they tell you, okay, buy this, buy that. Michelle, because they are biased. So that will then depend on the reader's judgment, right? Huilun said the Bible. Wow, Shami said Minka. I hope Huilun's opinion is that it tries to make us do good, persuade us to do good. Yuan said posters. Yeah, you might have posters out there. Yeah. So good. All right, agree with Samuel as well. All right, so you won't find articles that is only to inform, right? Sometimes articles have a combination of this. The authors have got multiple purposes, right? So we are going to look at them, okay? So when you are, okay, before that, let's see, your friend has got an opinion there. As far as the articles try to convince us, okay, social media is bad. Yeah, true, agreed, right? Where it's very clear, right? What the stance or the opinion of the author is, right? And maybe they are trying to make it a point to tell you this is what they feel, and hopefully you will be kind of manipulated by it, right? Okay, So it's important that you know the purpose, okay? Once you can recognize what the author's purpose is, your comprehension of the selection, okay, the text that you read will definitely become better, okay? So once you know the purpose also, it can help you kind of show you, all right, how you read the text, okay? For example, if you are reading something that entertains you, okay, you're reading a book about Mr. Bean's holiday, for example, all right, you know it's going to be chilled out. You don't have to like, okay, this is like so serious, I have to study this, nothing like that, yeah. You get the gist and all. But if you're reading something that really kind of is to inform you, okay, it's something serious, you are studying for an exam, for example, or you're going to go give a speech, all right, that has got all these facts in that. So you will definitely want to read things more carefully. When you are reading something that's trying to persuade you to do something, you have to remain unbiased, right? You have to be able to weigh what you feel is right, what you feel is wrong, right? And also respect, okay, respect the opinion that was put forth, right, by the writer, but having your own stance as well. So you you will definitely know, okay, from the purpose, it will help you see how you can read your text, okay? So can a selection, can a text have two purposes? Yes, right, we just talked about it, right? So if your article is about eating healthy, okay, on one hand it will be trying to persuade you, okay, eat vegetables, eat fruits, okay. On the other hand, it's also informing you, right? It's also informing you that this is how you can eat healthy. All right, there are different groups of food here. What should you eat more? What should you eat less? So yes, the text can have more than one purpose, of course. All right. So let's see the first one first. Dinesh, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. You guys actually read Diary of a Wimpy Kid? Quite cool, right? Sorry. Okay, the first purpose first is inform. Okay. If the author's purpose is to inform, there is some sort of a surety that you will learn something. Okay, you will learn something from the text. Okay, so like your history books, okay, your whatever subject textbooks, okay, definitely you will learn something, okay. So when you have the purpose of informing, all right, so you can have some of these things, yeah, like facts, for example, okay, details or instructions. For example, you're reading a cookbook, there are clear instructions. First you do this, then you do that, until finally your dish is ready to be served, right? Okay, then places, okay, the history of a place, for example, who can go there, for example, right? Events, okay, what takes place, okay, in a certain country or school, and of course information about people, right? If you're reading someone's biography or something, all that has got the purpose to inform, right? One fella mentioned Wimpy Kid, Diary of Wimpy Kid, and suddenly you've got a thread of messages here. The complete big Nate, my god. Okay, so this is to inform. Okay, next, to persuade. Okay, I'm sure some of you like this guy a lot. All right, if your author's purpose is to persuade, okay, definitely he will want you to believe what his position is, right? What he believes in, he wants you to believe. All right, most of the time non-fiction, okay, even though there could be facts, a lot of it actually contains the opinion of the author himself, right? They want to make it look like, you know, you said advertisements and all that. They want to make it look like, wow, this is a fact. Okay, you can earn 5,000 ringgit in a week if you do this. Okay, but sometimes there is no evidence to show that can happen. But they are so persuasive, all right, that you might fall into the trap, all right, of believing what they're saying. Okay, so when there is something that is persuasive, all right, the author makes it very clear, all right, they make it very, very clear whether they like something, they agree with something, or they are against it. All right. Yes, Michelle, correct. They present their opinions as if they are facts. Okay. As first question, can this include opinions from other people as well who also take the author's position? Opinion of other people who take the author's position. Do you mean that someone else is like reviewing the work of the author? Is that what you mean? Okay, no worries, Aswar. All right. So persuasion, pretty straight to the point. Okay, to entertain. I think your most favorite thing to read is something that entertains you. All right. EAP is probably not one of those things that entertain you. All right. So yeah, you read comedy stuff. Okay. If you read the newspaper, you got lots of headlines. You see politics, maybe some of you will be like, no. You see economy, no. And then you see like a funny news piece, for example, right? A funny news piece. Like, for example, dog saves kitten from jumping off a building, right? You're like, huh? What is this? Even if a cat jumps off a building, the cat won't die. So you are like, you're entertained and you want to start reading it, right? So sorry. So what happens is that if the purpose of the author was to entertain you and you feel entertained, then yes, the author has been successful in trying to give you some sort of happiness for a while. Yeah. As far as question again, can the author include other people's opinions? People who side with the said author's opinion. Yeah, can, right? That will definitely right, is to substantiate his point, right? To kind of strengthen his point. Okay. So that may help show even more clearly what his purpose is of writing it. Okay, if it's to persuade someone to do something, right? If you say, okay, you can earn 5,000 ringgit a week if you do this. You see the guy, this person, then they give examples, all right, who have so-called done the same thing. All right, this old man who lives alone, hasn't had a job for 5 years. Now suddenly he's almost a millionaire because he has done this. Yeah, you can, as far, right? Wouldn't be wrong. Okay, so okay, coming back to entertain. Of course, entertain, like you are telling a story. All right, you want to describe some characters, whether they are real or not real, that's a different story, right? Most of us sometimes wish we live in our own dream world of our own, right? Some might even be daydreaming now. You are thinking you are like as rich as Robert Kwok, or you are Tony Fernandez in your own imaginary world, right? You are flying places. But please, guys, as much as the thought entertains you, let's come back to EAP, okay? So things like this, like plays, poems, all right, comic strips and all that, these are things that definitely can entertain us. Okay. All right. Now, let's try and determine, okay, what's the author's purpose based on this bottle here. Okay, children's pain and fever reducer. All right. So if you were to see this, guys, tell me what's the answer. Is the purpose of this selection here, this text here, to inform, to entertain, or to persuade? I want to hear from all of you, please. Okay, keep the answers coming in. This is very easy, yeah. Shami, I hope you're fine. Okay, very good. All right, so the majority has already mentioned that this is to inform. Okay, now my next question. All right, why would you categorize this as to inform as the author's purpose? Right, you see, if you talk about informing, right, these are some things that may be included, right, when there's information that is given. Okay, so why do we say this is to inform? We not say it might be persuading a bit, maybe a little bit, maybe. Okay, Tina, good. All right, Saad, good. Okay, so there's breakdown, right? Like what's necessary, how often you have to take it. All right, what's the function of it? Okay, how to use it. Good. All right, so definitely to inform. Okay, like you guys have mentioned. So it gives you info, it gives you the instructions how to use the medicine, right? And especially you are giving a child, the medicine is for children, right? So you better follow the instructions carefully. Okay, you don't want to OD the child, right? Because of this medicine. So instructions here are very necessary to be followed. It's a fact. They don't simply put it here like, oh, they don't simply say take it 4 to 6 hours a day, or take only 1 tablespoon or two tablespoons, right? Based on the child's weight. Because for children, the amount that is given, all right, especially if it's in the form of liquid or syrup, how many mg is given is based on the child's weight. Yeah. So the pharmacist or doctor will ask first, okay, what's the weight of the child? All right, if it's 10 kilogram, or this is how much you can give. Don't give more. All right, it may have adverse effects. If you give less, it may not work. Just give what is prescribed as required. Yeah, so that's why it is to inform, mainly to inform. Okay, all right, this one, to inform, to entertain, or to persuade, guys? I think you don't even need to read. Yeah, this one has got one very clear purpose here. Okay, very good, you people. Okay, you guys say entertain. Wonderful, very good. Why? Can a few of you maybe give your reasons why you say this is to entertain? Oh, Fatih, inflict emotions. Yeah, horror story. Oh, the face of the picture, the image there kind of gave you the answer. Yeah, you fellas, smart. Yeah, Dinesh, it's a story, right? Okay, wonderful. All right, so this is definitely to entertain. Yeah, so when you're reading this, you maybe you are like chilling out, and then you might be, your suspense level might increase, right? So when you read something that is informative, probably that doesn't really happen much. Okay, all right, so as you had mentioned, even what Tina has mentioned now, there is like some sort of suspenseful mood. So that means your feelings, right, your emotions are being captured here. Okay, and this is a fiction, most probably. Okay, very good, yeah, guys. So this last one. Oh, sorry. I showed you the answer already. Damn. Okay, good. The few of you here. All right. So this one, of course, you know it's persuasive. Okay. You can see one here. Okay, it is recommended. Recommended you do something. Okay, because maybe this is a good idea. All right. And then there's a lot of like a form of advice that is given. Okay, like spend time with your children. All right. To read stuff. Okay. So you can actually see, right, that there is a strong recommendation. There's almost an emotional appeal for the readers to do what is right. In this case here, in this selection here, read, right? And there is an encouragement, okay, a sentence that shows an encouragement that you have to do something, which is turn off the TV, read a book. All right. So this, like, even when you write a persuasive essay, you will see that there's a lot of recommendations, encouragement given, all right, advice given, so that people try and listen to you. All right, they follow what you are trying to ask them to do. Okay, so you can see very clearly that those are the three main purposes. Okay, to inform, entertain, persuade. All right, so to move on, okay, there are some steps that we can use, all right, to determine the author's purpose and also the author's perspective. All right, of course, one is you have to read the selection carefully. All right, your text has to be read carefully. Okay, you see, is this fiction, is this non-fiction? All right, if you see that there's lots of characters there, a lot of storytelling going on, you know it's probably fiction with the intent to what do you call that, entertain you, right? If you see all these scientific words, all right, talking about planets and stuff like that, most probably it is to inform you about something. All right, so sorry, we are going to do a few questions, okay, just as a form of practice. All right, you will read the passage, okay, just a quick one, all right, and identify, okay, what's the author's purpose, either to persuade, to inform, or to entertain. You got paya, persuade, inform, and entertain. Okay, and think about reason, or what evidence from the text can you kind of capture, okay, to say that's your reason, that you are saying it's to persuade or to inform or to entertain. As mentioned here, an answer is expected from all of you. Okay, so as we go on with the questions, there are quite a number of questions here. All right, an answer is expected. For the first few, we will discuss the reasons as well. Okay, so let's start with the first one. As soon as you get an answer, please put your answers into the chat. All right, let's start with the first one first. Okay, we've got some answers there. Okay, we got one with a reason as well. Good. Continue, continue. Those with reasons for their answers, please include them. Yeah, that would be very good. We are focusing on only one purpose here, guys. Yeah, so get the main purpose. All right. Okay, wonderful. Though there are still some students' names I wish I can see in the chat. It's okay. We have a few more questions. Yeah. Hoping for more answers to come in from more people. Okay, very good. So let's see. This one is definitely to entertain. As one of your friends had mentioned just now, it's a story, right? And yes, good Asfar, right? You want to give out, you want to, as a writer, for example, your intention was to bring out some kind of emotion in this situation, probably joy, right? Because you see, very simple, it was so funny. All right, when you see something funny, if you're very sad, probably for a few seconds you might have some sort of joy in you. Okay, so this is definitely to entertain. Very good. Yeah, all of you. Okay, next one please. A quick one, take about like 10 seconds or whatever. If you can give the reasons, even better. Okay, very good. Very good. Anyone with a reason why you say it's to persuade? Okay, good Usma. All right, it's an ad. Good Cheng Hao. All right, good Fatih. Okay, good Aiden. Okay, the reasons, yeah. Good Tina. All right. So you can easily see that it's telling you, okay, please buy the machine. What's good about it? All that is being advertised there. All right. Shami, however, does not feel that this is very persuasive. It is more informative. There, when someone is trying to inform you something, okay, you will find more facts there. All right, something that is real. Okay, so when you have just this, if they tell you how many pounds specifically from a study done by how many people on how many people, right? There is some information given here. Yes, I will not deny that. But if you look at the whole thing clearly, all right, it is more of a persuasion because they're telling you, okay, this is how much money you need. You should exercise today because of all the aforementioned benefits. Yeah, so there is a little bit of information, but it's not factual enough, all right, to say that you learned something from it. Yeah, because you didn't really learn anything from it. It's more of a persuasion kind of a text. All right. All right. So those who got it, very good. Okay, more. Next one. This one is very easy. The first sentence you read, you'll know already. Good, yeah, some of you are really quick. Wonderful. Okay, so Uzma and Fatih have given us the reasons as well. Very good, yeah. Okay, Asfar has also given the reason. Very good, all of you. Cheng Hao, good. Okay, good. Samuel has also given the reason. Wonderful. All right, good. So you can see very easily, yeah, that this is to inform, right? Because it tells you very clearly, okay, that this is all about the organization and what happened at that time, okay, and how they work things out by having codes and signals that are secret, right? So when you read this, you learn, all right, you learn, okay, this is what happened, it was real, okay. So very good. Okay, so we saw 3 examples already, and then you also know what reasons in there kind of tell you if they are to inform, all right, to persuade, or to what is the other one, to entertain. Yes, Dinesh, good, right? It's a history kind of a piece. Good. All right. The next ones, you just tell me what the purposes are. All right. We will not really discuss the reasons much, yeah. Okay. So keep typing in your purpose for this one now. Judy Glance wrinkle remover cream. Inform, entertain, or persuade. Good. Don't give up. It's just typing a few letters. Yeah. We'll show like, yeah, you participated in class. Okay, very good. Yeah, good. You know that things like this definitely are persuasive. Yeah, it's not just telling you that, oh, it's a cream. Say amazing cream. Wow, make you look younger in 30 days or even less. Can you imagine? Pure marketing, right? So most importantly, don't forget, yeah, you have to send your check, all right, to this place in California, all right. So definitely persuasive. Okay. All right, good. Next one. We've got quite a few. Yeah? This is about Thomas. Thomas was not happy. Those who have not contributed anything to the chat, please do so. Yeah, I will check the analytics after class. No matter how easy things are, guys, be humble. All right. If you think, oh, what is this? This is so simple. Be humble. It's not wrong to show a bit of participation. Good, yeah, those who gave reason as well. Very good. You try. Oh, sad story. Showing emotion. Very good. Very, very good. All right. Definitely to entertain, right? So there's a story going on here. His sister and he are being compared to, okay, sister is better, he's not so. And then poor Thomas, just go study harder. All right. Okay. Next, about Laura Elizabeth Ingalls Wilder. I think Dinesh's was about just now. Yeah, good, Dinesh. I think your answer came in late a little. Okay, good. Inform, 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 inform. Wonderful. Good. Okay, wonderful, right? You can see all these facts about her life, all right? When she was born, who did she meet and get married to, okay, what books she had, and finally when she died. Okay, they are dates. Very good, Hassan. Okay, it's like a bio. Good. All right, Shamil said both can, miss. Both can, no problem. But primarily, which one? Definitely to inform. All right, definitely to inform. Right, it's telling you about her life, the facts about her life. Right. Okay, very good, all of you. Okay, a few more to go. Hamsters for sale. Anyone can do good marketing here? Hamsters for sale, hamsters for sale. We have a large selection of hamsters for sale this week. They are interesting pets. You will enjoy having one. Only $17.99 this week. Come and buy yours today and clean up your house a billion times a day. That they don't tell us. Okay, those who mentioned to persuade, very good. You're on the right track, right? So you've got them trying to give you advice. Come and buy it today. They told you something good advantages about keeping hamsters, right? They're very interesting. You will feel happy having a pet hamster at home, right? And it's only $17.99, yeah. So when they use these things, only this much, only that much, you know they're trying to persuade you to get it. All right, good. It's an ad. All right, wonderful, you people. All right, next about calligraphy. This one is also very easy. Good, good, good. All those who answered to inform, very good. All right, wonderful. Okay, so if you never knew what calligraphy was, once you read this, you'll definitely learn something, or you know what it is, but you didn't know, oh, there's a special pen, for example. All right, it's written in what do you call that? Uh, in the past, okay, was used to write special letters, okay, or some certificate. You have learned something, definitely to inform. Okay, good, all of you fellas. Okay, Katina and her brother Jess. The moment you see that, you will know what it is already. Okay, good. If you say entertain, definitely very good. All right. So we need not discuss the reason. Okay, Rosie. Rosie had the best time making her Valentine's card for her classmates. Very good. Those who answered entertain, very good, right? Because she kind of did something that made her friend happy. Okay, was a very funny card. Okay, very good, all of you. This one, very easy. The easy chopper tree will chop your vegetables for you in about 30 seconds. I need to get one, I guess. I think if you had this kind of an ad that you saw, all of you will be helping your parents in the kitchen already. Just 30 seconds. Very good. It's trying to persuade you, right? It's trying to persuade you? Good, good, good. Okay, how many more do we have? I remember. Okay, this is about Abraham Lincoln. His birthday, February the 12th. Okay, very good. Some of you are following the class very well. Yeah, keep it up. I'm so proud of you. Some students I've not seen their name at all. I remember their names, but I've not seen their name at all in the chat. You fellas make me proud, yeah, those who are participating. Good, to inform, yeah, what good he did, who he was when he was born, definitely to inform. Okay, so now this one here definitely is to entertain. We don't need to go through this, it's fine. Okay, you know very clearly that this is to entertain from especially when you see the first sentence itself, right, about Joe and his experience, all right, and finally his friends laughed and he laughed together. Poor Joe. Okay, all right, so this is to entertain. Okay, this one is to inform, all right, just showing you the answer just now. Don't worry about this. It's about the panda, okay, the characteristics of the panda, all right, the physique of it, what it eats, all right, because it's very endangered, the government of China protects it, all right. So this is definitely informative. Okay, all right, this is the last one, to persuade. Okay, these are the typical the one just now about the panda was definitely to inform, right? About this soda. It's new, it's refreshing, it's Slurpee soda. This is the best soda in the world. If you drink this soda, you will jump higher, run faster, and be smarter in school. Try one today. Guys, try one today. Whatever soda that is, right? So if you can really jump higher, you can really run faster and be smarter in school. I don't know how many parents will get it, but I'm sure some parents will be persuaded enough by buying this for their kids. They wouldn't feed soda to the kids, but because the children can then jump higher, they can run faster and be smarter in school, they will start feeding their kids this soda, which is very, very refreshing and slurpy, right? So definitely, like you guys are saying, it's to persuade us. Try one today, try one, right? These people, what kind of things they mention. All right, so that was about our what do you call that, purposes. Very good, yeah, guys, very good. Yes, Shami, I agree. Red Bull, yes, I have seen parents of children, primary school, yeah, say they are 9, 10, around that age, and you're giving the child Red Bull to drink. Yeah, even for adults, it's not recommended you drink too much of Red Bull. So, yep, as far as drinking it. Yeah, it's so sweet. It's the sugar that is the one that gives you the temporary high, and then after that you crash. It's like how, like, you know, many of us have a sweet tooth, so we like to eat sugary stuff. For that few minutes, you're like, wow, you're on top of the world. You feel so energetic, right? But after that, you crash. So that's just the fact, right? When we fall into this trap of being persuaded, right, by stuff like that. Okay. Oh, Shami, your friend couldn't sleep for 2 days. Five cans. Who drinks 5 cans? I had a colleague before from the US. Not in APU, of course. His breakfast every day used to be a can of Red Bull every day without fail. If he didn't get one early enough by 9 in the morning, he will be the grumpiest person in the office, right? And even if he didn't have lunch that day, he'll be fine. He'll be fine because he already had his great Red Bull, right? So see different experiences, right, about this soda. Harry, drink water, Ronaldo. He left Coca-Cola, and what happened? He said no to Coca-Cola. Yesterday, Portugal lost, right, and lost badly, and now they are out. So the underdogs have already taken over, right? Okay. So that was your to inform, to persuade, to entertain. Okay. Congratulations, Belgium. For those who don't know, now I'm informing you that Belgium won yesterday, Portugal lost. Okay. All right. Next, just another part. All right. It's just an additional. Okay. Where you understand. All right. This is where we understand the perspective of the author. Okay. So this again here is for your own watching, your own revising and stuff. All right. This one too. Okay. Now we come back to this. Okay. For Ronaldo, last week we talked about him. This week we talk about him. Next week there'll be nothing to talk about him, right? Because they're out of the league. Okay, what is the author's perspective? Okay, when your author writes, whether to entertain or to persuade or to inform, all right, there will be some sort of perspective on it, his or her own perspective. Okay, the way he views it, all right. So the author's perspective, or another word for it, remember, bias, yeah. Later, before you all leave class, you all have to, all of you, yeah, will have to answer about 2 or 3 questions, I think, at the end, okay, which you'll have to put in the chat, because if I see your answer is not there, I will not give you your attendance. All right, so you might need to take note of some of the main points only. All right, just the main points, okay, because that's what we'll be focusing on. Okay, again, so when we talk about author's perspective, another name for it is bias. All right, it's the opinion of the author about the subject. Okay, so an author's argument basically means it's the opinion or belief, all right, that the author wants to persuade the readers to believe. Okay, so when your author puts something on paper, okay, in written form, he or she hopes that you will somehow alter the way you think and finally be on the same page as him. All right, you finally have the same understanding. Okay, so just remember, perspective, or another word for it is bias, is what the author's opinion is about the subject. All right, so how do these 2 things go together? The purpose and the perspective of the author. All right, they go together because firstly, the author wants you to see the topic from his point of view. Okay, that's why like T7 we already went through point of view. Yeah, we understand point of view already. The other tutorials we will look into point of view during class in the next 2 days. Yeah, all right. So it is important that we know from what perspective he or she is writing. Okay, and in some situations, it's sometimes very easy to see if the author is in for or against something, right? From their tone of writing, from the purpose of their writing, you can actually see very clearly if they agree or disagree with whatever they are writing about. Okay, next, to determine the perspective of the author, all right, there is definitely an issue. All right, an issue. So you want to know what is his or her point of view on that issue. So ask yourself as you are reading it, what's the author's position on this issue? What's his opinion about it? Does he agree with the solution about it? Does he agree with an effect that was mentioned by someone? All right, so you have to ask yourself as a reader, what is the author's point of view about that issue? Okay, issue here means, all right, what is the topic of controversy that is being discussed by the author? All right, so controversial topics, as you know, are those that people generally disagree with. All right, for example, you see lots of controversial issues going on around us, right? From the time before I was born, all right, until now. For example, the death penalty. Some countries who said yes to death penalty before, now they are saying no. Some who said no before, now they are saying yes. So there's always this controversy going on, like what is the right thing to do. And in this case now, if the author's perspective is to say yes, there should be a death penalty, then that's the author's stance, right? Gun control, a policy, for example, abortion. This is another issue in many countries, right? Some say okay, some say no, never, right? Some say okay with certain conditions, right? So all these are controversial issues that we have been seeing, yeah, from then till now. So another thing that you can definitely find out is you figure out, is there a controversial issue that is being written about in this particular article? All right. If yes, good, then you can focus your reading on the controversy. All right. Most importantly, you have to be calm. All right, don't get very overwhelmed when you read all these articles about these controversies, yeah, because there can be some kinds of steps, all right, when you are trying to evaluate, you are trying to give reasoning to an author's perspective or an argument. Okay, most importantly, you have to look after your own biases. That means you have to be very objective. All right, so for example, the issue of death penalty, you, for one, as a person, you feel that, oh, there should be death penalty. Anyone who commits crime should die. All right, for example, that is your stance. Okay, but now you're reading an article about an author who is saying that no, there shouldn't be death penalty, human rights and blah 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 and all that kind of stuff. Okay, what is necessary is that you have to be very objective when you're reading it. Don't bring in your own bias, because once you do that, you'll be like, no, I'm not going to accept any opinion from the author. What I'm saying is right, he is wrong, based on my knowledge, like you are the king of all knowledge in the world, right? That is not the case. You have to be very objective. Okay, so they are not trying to prove that their argument is correct. No. All right, because as you know, at the end of the day, not everything can be proven. Okay, what they are trying to do is, okay, they just want to put their perspective on paper. They just want to show that they have a point to prove, there is an argument, and they present reasons and support, all right, to show why their argument may be a better one. Okay, so these are some things. Just take note on the main things only. You don't have to write everything. Okay, so some steps to evaluate, all right, the author's perspective or argument. What can we do, okay, when we are trying to figure out what an author's point of view is, or what he's trying to argue, an issue or whatever. Okay, so we just quickly go through this. So the first one is identify author's assumptions. All right, this means that the assumptions here are things that the author takes for granted without presenting any proof. Okay, that means they're all based on assumptions, what you think, no evidence for it, no proof for it. All right, so in other words, it's what the author believes or accepts as true. He wants to believe that this is true. All right, like all criminals should be getting a death penalty. He wants to feel that this is true, right? And all his arguments will be based on what he feels is true. Okay, so he's taking for granted maybe other things surrounding the controversy. All right, so what happens is, if the author's assumptions are not logical or not accurate, the whole argument will be flawed. All right, it will be such a waste. There will be a whole misconception about it. So if, for example, the author is saying that all criminals, like all, yeah, all, someone who stole a pen from a bookshop, for example, all right, to someone who murdered his family, for example, all these people are criminals. They all should be getting a death penalty. All right, if that is what he believes in, that is what he writes about. Okay, and things may sometimes be even illogical, but readers being readers, human beings being human beings who can be manipulated, they can get misled. Yeah, they might be misled. That's why you have all these um, teachings that sway people in the wrong direction, and that is why there are so many issues around the world. All right, so um, as a reader, try your best to identify, okay, is this just an assumption, or do they have any kind of evidence or circumstantial proof that can say that, all right, this is just an assumption. All right, so that's why it's very important. You have to keep your bias away. All right, be very objective. So that is the first one. Okay, second one, try to identify the types of support. That means the kind of evidence that the author uses to support the argument, all right, to back up the argument. Okay, so what kind of support does he have, the author has, to back up the argument? All right, when you are reading articles like journals and research papers, for example, okay, are they findings, the results of a certain research, case studies, all right, you will learn all this when you are doing academic research in semester 3, all right, examples, all right, testimony from experts. These are the kinds of things that can support an argument. Okay, and then once you see that, okay, there is some type of a support, some kind of evidence, you have to determine how relevant, all right, how relevant the support is. So is the support, are all the supporting details based on the so-called facts related to the argument, right? That means, are they relevant or not? All right, do they go off track? Are they directly about the topic? Okay, so the author may or may not be an expert, all right, but if he is an expert, his opinions, his personal experiences may be relevant. For example, if I'm a judge, all right, in a court, I may have opinions that are valid to talk about death penalty, all right, but if you are just for example, maybe you're just a teacher, okay, teaching little children, you are not an expert in that field, so your experience may not necessarily be very relevant. Yeah, so it's necessary that we know how relevant the support is to the argument that was mentioned. All right, the fourth step, okay, is for you to determine the author's objectivity. All right, so when there is support comprising facts or evidence, okay, then you can say yes, is objective. That means this evidence is hard evidence. Yeah, that means you've got DNA proof, for example. All right, you've got fingerprints, for example. Okay, you've got real findings from a human being's blood test, for example. So all these are definitely things that can prove the objectivity of the author. Okay, step 5. Once you have determined, okay, the objectivity of the author, you can C, the completeness of the argument. All right. An argument is considered complete if the author gives enough support, all right? He provides enough support and he solves the opposing points. That means whatever information that contradicts what he has, he provides support for it, all right? And finally says that, for example, point A, okay, point A is not in support of his main point about death penalty. He said death penalty should be for all criminals. All right. Point A says that death penalty should not be for all criminals, for example. So he finds articles, he finds research evidence and stuff like that, and he comes to the conclusion that he is still right. He is still right that death penalty should be for all criminals. All right, and all that data covers up the opposing points that say not all criminals should get death penalties. Okay, so how complete the argument is important, because when you read things, sometimes you're like, or even when we write things, even me myself, right? You're like, have I written enough? Have I even provided enough support, right? Then when you're doing a research paper, especially, you're like, oh no, I have to strengthen this point. I need to get more evidence. Okay, I can't leave out information, right? If you're arguing a point. Okay, so that's why, like, when you write an argumentative essay, you are presenting your main points, you are giving your counterpoints, right? Your refutation. So it's important, yeah. All right. And if the argument is valid or not, that is something you need to determine as well. Okay, so if an argument is valid, that means it's accurate, it's logical. Okay, so there might be 5 pages of arguments. All right, this person said this, that person said that, statistics shows this, blah, 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 blah. A lot. But are they all valid? Are they well reasoned? Anyone and everyone can put statistics there. They can put some author's name and whatever. But determining its validity is important. Okay, if the argument is credible, is it believable or not? Yeah, is it convincing? So validity and credibility are very closely related, because if an argument is not valid, okay, that means if an argument is not logical, is not accurate, you cannot say it's credible. You cannot say that it is believable, right? If yours is valid, if it's accurate, all right, if it's logical, then you can say that yes, it is believable. That's why you have to always go back to one of the first few steps, where you have to be objective, right? All your bias will have to be put aside. You have to do thinking. All right, so based on these 7 steps, okay, of course you will not be doing anything like this in any of your major assignments now. This is when you read tasks. Okay, when you have tasks where you have to read, where you have to give a review of an article, for example, or you are writing a full-fledged assignment, okay, a research paper, whatever, even an essay, for example, and you are trying to find sources to be put into your work. It's important that you know how to evaluate what the author's perspective is, all right, or what the arguments are based on the author's writing. Okay, because if you don't understand, all right, the author's argument, how complete it is, how valid it is, how credible it is, you will not be able to respond to your own essay, or prove an argument or reject an argument very successfully. Okay, do you have any questions, guys? All right, so all in all, today we focused on 3 main things, yeah, which will focus on 3 main things, which is 2 main things, which are your purposes: to inform, to entertain, to persuade, and the second part here, which is to figure out the perspectives of an author and how to get it done theoretically. Okay. For tutorial for the rest of you guys, we will look at point of view, okay, and I may also upload for you guys some just some extra practice to do on to inform, to persuade, and to entertain. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. All right, so these are 3 questions you need to answer. All right, of course you can't write it on paper, you write it on your in your chat. Okay, so the first question is, what are the 3 terms used to categorize the author's purpose? Very easy, we have looked at this. Don't answer yet, yeah? All right, don't answer yet. What is another term that is used for perspective? I focused on this quite a little bit, right? And 3 steps, at least 3 out of the 7. Okay, there were 7 here. I'm simply going fast. There are 7 here. You need to kind of remember 3 to be put in the answers here. Okay, what are 3 steps out of 7, whichever you can remember, when determining author's perspective? Don't worry, this part is mostly theory. All right, application comes when you are going for when you're doing your essays, when you're doing your assignments. Okay, so I give you about 5 minutes. Prepare your answers. Okay, prepare your answers. Don't post it yet. Don't post it yet, because I know some students will just copy what other students have. All right, so when it's 3:51 or 3:52, then you start posting your answers, and then I'll give you attendance. All right, every one of you has to post your answers, please. Right, 5 minutes. Okay, those who are done with the 3 questions, you can start posting your answers already. Okay, answer whatever you can. Try and answer all 3, yeah, all right? It's not a one-word answer, okay? All of you, yeah, guys, please, yeah. Those who have been answering, very good. Okay, I'm seeing some names for the first time. Okay, very good, very good. At least I know you're there. Wonderful. Okay, good, good. Half the class has answered. If you haven't, continue trying, yeah. Answer it, please. Okay, those who have answered, wonderful. All right, once I give you the attendance code, you may leave. The rest, put in your answers, please. All right, and take your attendance as well. And guys, please check your timetable for next week, yeah. There might be changes in the lecture time. All right, Hassan. Okay, Hassan, no worries, as long as there's something. Okay. And I would say very good job today to all of you. All right. If there's any questions about the assignment, you please ask. All right. Oh my God, is the code working or not? Please work. Oh, no, no, wait, wrong class, wrong class. Wait, wrong class. This is my ARS class. Wait, don't get angry. Wait, don't get angry. Don't get angry. You are EAP. Chill. I'm also chilling. Relax, relax, relax. Because I've got 2 foundation classes going on. One, you guys first semester, and then they are in their 3rd semester. So when the code is almost similar, that's when I create all these blunders. Okay, I apologize. Please work, please work, please work. Yes, it works. Okay, if you have put in your answers, if you have taken your attendance, thank you very much, guys. Have a good evening, have a good night. See you when I see you next.